I just can't succeed in e-commerce no matter what product. I can't get clients. And then we go through the patterns and the cycles of generation. We get them out of there and they start succeeding.
People that try to lose weight, for a time, they can lose weight. The voice is in the blood. Fear is in the blood because this influence is always there. They didn't conquer that. Then when they lose weight, they gain back and more.
There is something in the DNA that's passed down.
Now we're ready for the next subject in the same direction is the epigenetic science. Just prove what the Bible is saying from 1,000 years about how we have the voice in the blood.
Yeah.
The memory of generation is transmitted generation after generation in the blood.
Yeah.
And so many people, they try to say, oh, when we are born again, we're safe. We're not under this kind of curse anymore. And by the way, what is a curse, Alan? A curse is something try to destroy what you build, the abundance that God has for your life is try to bring sickness, destruction, try to destroy your marriage, try to destroy your health, your family, your peace, your joy, your life, depression after depression, or sickness, or infirmities, and all kind of stuff. And of course, Yeshua paid the price at the cross to redeem us. But we're supposed to see the fruit. Right? We're supposed to see the manifestation of the price He paid for us. And something is working behind the scene because the illegal try to keep something in our life that we don't have to pay anymore. And this is where we have to learn this kind of battle and how to overcome this illegal influence that try to repeat the same pattern in our life.
Absolutely. We're going to go to a little video here, which, the science proves what we're talking about, and then we'll come back and give our opinion on this, Martine.
The article explains that studies carried out on rats produced results we expect may occur in humans. Experiments were conducted whereby male rats were fed on a high-fat diet, and the fathered offspring tended to gain more weight, develop more fat, and have more trouble regulating insulin levels. Similarly, rats that were exposed to high stress levels tended to father pups that have a dampened response to stress. The proposed explanation behind all of this stems from epigenetic molecules called microRNAs. These molecules respond to environmental influences and in turn impact the genetic behavior of the offspring.
That is very important because when we look at these rats, with humans, it's the same thing. There is something in the DNA that's passed down. That's the proof, and even science prove it, that what comes into your blood, life is in the blood, anything that's in the blood, in your DNA, comes from generation. That's why we look like our parents too at some point, right? When you look in the mirror, it just didn't happen like that. So everything reproduces of its own kind, Martine.
Absolutely. And we can see clearly with all the science, the University Emory talk about it because this kind of story, just they made more experiences with mouse and how the anxiety, the stress, fear from generation is transmitted to the other generation.
Yeah.
And the science, epigenetic science now prove that for 3 to 4 generations, same reaction under the same situation. Then the mouse, the little baby, never experienced what the parents and the grandparents experience, but they will react the same way. And this is what is happening in our life.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And this is why we repeat the same way of reacting. Alan, we realized with some clients and they had some fear in their life and they said, why do I have this fear?
Yeah, it's
fear to take a plane, fear.
Not conscious. It's you don't say, well, I don't have that fear. I've never been into this situation. How can I have fear? Because I don't even know. Like example, taking a plane or helicopter, all of a sudden, panic hits or you end up in a close place. And then you say, I never visited this type of situation. How come it appears it just pops up? suddenly.
I never had this experience, this trauma in my life, but I react like I
Hmm.
had this experience.
Yeah.
And this is why a lot of people, they are stuck in the same kind of feeling. And by the way, the situation, the environment, or people, or everything's going to try to be recreated
Oh,
to
yes.
just,
The
you're going
environment.
to see the same result.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're trapped like a mouse in a cage. Like you run, you try to change
Yeah.
that in
Yeah.
the natural,
Yeah.
and it's always the same result.
Yeah.
The best example, it can be with money, financially.
Hmm.
You make money, and all the time you see that you have to work harder and harder, and you don't see the same result that other people, they do maybe 20% of what you're doing and they succeed, and you don't, and you try everything to do it. It's the same kind of influence and pushing, feeling, emotion, and mindset, and everything working there to recreate the same result. And we see that a good example with diets. People, they try to lose weight, and they go to all kind of, diets, and for a time they can lose weight. But because the voice is in the blood, because the fear is in the blood, because this influence is always there, they didn't conquer that. Then when they lose weight, they
Yeah.
get back and more.
We'll leave a link down there on this book that you wrote, and there's a course that goes with it because you lost 70 pounds. You shifted your identity, your whole body shifted. You never went back to that past. And this is extremely important. Your relationship with food and all, everything's shifted. We see a lot of people like Oprah and all kinds of artists, they are having a problem with relationships with food. They can succeed in finances, be multimillionaires, billionaires. We've got clients that come to us in e-commerce. Now I'm going to just switch to the e-commerce business right now. There's coaches all over the place. So they come to us and they say, Alan Martin, why I'm doing everything everybody's doing. Why can I just can't succeed in e-commerce no matter what product. I can't get clients. And then we go through the patterns and the cycles of generation. We get them out of there and they start succeeding. We had lawyers become judges because they were stuck. Their family, no even a driver's license. And we got them from the school of lawyers, getting a driver's license, getting to succeed, and ended up a judge. I mean, that's powerful. That's breaking the cycles, Martin.
Yeah, because when people, they look at other why they're succeeding, I'm doing the same thing. Try all this kind of online course, training, coaching, work hard, harder,
Yeah,
and
harder.
still I don't see the result.
Yeah.
Then this is a paradigm. This is a cycle in your life. And when you're a child of God, you can be set free from this paradigm. In the world, they apply the law of God, the instruction of God without glorifying God, and they have results.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's like the gravity law. It's working for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But like a child of God, we can have more and activate faster the result. Now, it's why when they look at other people, they say, this is not fair. I try everything and I'm still stuck, and I spend all this money, training there, and how to do a webinar, how to do a challenge, how to build an online e-commerce, and how to do drop shipping, and how to do this, and they're stuck in the same place. Or their dream is to be in the real estate, and they go and they don't succeed because the majority of the time, it's a paradigm, it's a generational paradigm. We can see, Alan, people, they're succeeding. First of all, if you open your eyes and you start to look at the generation before, generation before, they had some success.
Yeah.
We see that the person can go at the level of their parents. Like example, the father was doctor, mother, or in businesses, and they make money. And now this next one make more money, and all the family, it's easy. And the second reason is the blessing of the parents too, the support of the parents behind the child, the person.
We've got people in e-commerce right now. Their videos, they're making millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. And when you look back on them, and probably we'll do a couple of videos on the top, YouTubers and succeeding in e-commerce, because there's a pattern, there's a road we can follow, there's a blueprint in their families that was success there. At 20 some years old, they're multimillionaires. There's something there. There's people 40, 50 trying to succeed all their lives working 2 jobs. It's not happening. Why? We follow the patterns, follow the cycles, the paradigms. There's a blueprint. When we look at these e-commerce guys that are succeeding, their parents succeeded. They're in their 20s, they're multimillionaire. Go back, look at their parents. Now, there's the exception behind the scenes like us, that we don't come from families, and we fought this. We fought the cycles.
Yeah, because like we said, we decided to
Yeah,
change
yeah,
that.
yeah.
We felt for it. We took massive action opposed. We applied
Yeah.
the 7 step I explained in the book, and it worked.
Yeah.
It worked in our life, worked in our client's life, and it's possible for you if you watch this show right now.
Yeah, but
But Alan,
I'm
you
just
were
talking.
saying that if you look at the parents, right?
Yes. If you're looking at the kids, 20, 22 years old, 20 in their 20s, they're multimillionaires. They're driving Ferraris. What's behind the scene? Where do they come from? Because you don't succeed in your 20s like that, just like that. No matter what, there's a cycle there. There's an easiness. There's this wind that's blowing in their lives. But probably somewhere else they'll fall down. Maybe it's in drugs, maybe in alcohol, maybe in women. I mean, there's something coming down the line that it'll trap them. They'll lose their money. We see that people in sports, Martine, top players.
Like Grant Cardone in real estate, and he is doing, teaching about how to sell and how to make, money online and all of that. Look at his father. He was already in business.
Yeah.
And he was not successful like Grant, but he was in business.
Yeah.
A good life. Okay.
Yeah.
And Grant Cardone's mother was behind him.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
And she wanted him to succeed. She was there for him.
Yeah.
And he found a wife, then she decided to be there for him also. See the pattern?
That's very good. That's extremely good.
This is the pattern.
Elena wanted to be a billionaire. She was doing role plays with Grant because he never thought about that level before. He
was mad with her. When she said, "You're going to be billionaire," he was mad with her, saying, "Well, this is impossible."
So it's good what you just said. His father was in stocks,
business,
in real estate. He succeeded.
Insurance.
And he was very young when his father died. But his father never cursed him. His father blessed him, loved his family, and his mom pushed him. And then, as you say, Elena, she was, meets another woman, starts pushing him to his limits. Now, this is a powerful cycle. This is patterns that you got to follow. If you don't have Grant's road map, where he comes from, what was the patterns that brought him to success? We've got to study the people.
This is the 2 reasons. Their parents was already successful at some level, and are the parents or one or the other, they're behind them and push them, blessing them. And this is really help to change a paradigm or to have, a success in some area in your life. Our point to you today is that epigenetic science proved that today what the Bible is saying. And this is why, Alan, we decided 23 years ago, we didn't want to stay at the same place, have some area in our life having success and some other area in our life do not have the success. We're a builder. Yeah. If I build, I want to build everywhere. I don't want to build a business and the marriage is falling apart. I don't want to build to be successful financially and my children, they're just rebelled and my family is not going well. And I know some woman can watch us right now and relate to what I'm saying. Absolutely. It's so important for us. We want to have it all. We want to have it all. And this is a promise of the cross. He came to give us the abundant life, Alan. And we felt for that. We felt for every area in our life. And we overcame all this paradigm in our life. The only thing we're doing right now is to push higher and higher and higher. Yep. But we overcame the limitation of the generation.
If you're looking for a legacy, and for my part, when I was in my 20s, what's happening with my money, that because my focus was I'm working hard, I'm working overtime. I'm doing so much stuff, and still, I can't make the money that I see. I see it, but what's happening? What's the cycles? Everything would repeat itself. So we found the answer when we got married together. And today, what we want to do is to leave a legacy to our son. Because if we don't do that, we know well that it's going to jump on his life, these cycles, and they will destroy him. Now, I'm not saying a family can be perfect. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying let's work on it. Let's build a legacy. You were saying, Martine, that we are builders. Build what? Build the family. Look at the families that, the Rockefellers, no matter if you're in agreement or not, what they did, there's families out there that passed down the wealth. They understood that law. So we got to understand the laws that influence the earth. And as creators, as children of God, if you understand that you can create new cycles and patterns, you need to be taught. Mm-hmm. That's why you wrote the book, Martine. The Zikaron, which is the memory of generations. You got to understand the past. Even, I think it was Ray Dalio, when he was talking about he made his money looking back at the financial cycles.
Exactly.
Imagine if we do that in our family.
For the history. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We can change the history of our family.
Exactly, because you identify the pattern and then you can apply the right strategies to overcome the pattern and be successful over that and not be surprised by this cycle. Because we're talking earlier in the show, Alan, that maybe something is not going to happen before you're 40 or 50 or after a marriage or after a pregnancy. Like some women, they just gain weight after pregnancy.
That's right.
This is a pattern.
That's right.
Or after menopause, or after this age, or this is a pattern. But we're choosing to change a pattern.
That's good. That's good.
We're choosing to change a pattern to give an inheritance to our children bigger than money. Money is good, but to give
money. Yeah, how to make money.
Blessing, exactly, and to stop some curse working to try to sabotage our prosperity, our life, our abundance. We can give something when, Alan, sometime in our life, we didn't have all the time the feeling that we want to fight. We just want, because this paradigm, they work very hard to influence our emotion, feeling, mindset, discourage people. Because when you decide to change something, we call that the law of polarity. You're going to have a fight back, But what helps us to really continue the fight and to overcome this pattern is when we look at our children in their eyes and we said, no, I am the one who will change the future of my bloodline. I'm not going to transmit to you the same problem that I had maybe from my parents and grandparents, but I decide to change the story of my bloodline. And this is what gave us the strength to fight for that, Adam. And we're very proud of it. And this is why with our clients, we know what we're doing because we overcame so many areas in our life, our marriage, finances, her health, my weight, so many things. Then it's possible for everybody to overcome this kind of paradigm. Hey, the Wilkie is here. Click here to subscribe to our YouTube channel to be notified every time we post a new video, and we can stay connected together and we can continue to invest in your life.